when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're valley-wide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
This year, help dreams come true with the Ideal Idaho 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits, ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, K-12 education, and student loan repayment. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org if you would like to learn more.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles.
Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange,
And not all our steaks are ribeyes.
but wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road.
Belts strapped and dreams packed.
No distractions, no phones, focused.
From here to there, it's who we are.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Good evening and welcome in to this IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of Magic Valley Game Night, presented by Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Additional coverage on IdahoSports.com is presented by Lookout Credit Union. Tonight we come to you live from Minico High School, where the Burley Bobcats will take on the hometown Minico Spartans. In case you couldn't hear me there was a helicopter landing on the field, coming in from above, right on the field to provide the game ball for tonight's river rivalry. It's the battle for the Golden Ore, and it's going to be a great one. Hello, everyone. Welcome in to this broadcast. My name is Joel Richardson, and I'm joined by the Preston sensation, Dallin Fryer. I got him laughing, folks. Dallin,
right.
What's going on, man?
Happy to be here tonight. Oh, I mean, I love this rivalry. I grew up in Preston, but I was a big part. I saw the different parts of this rivalry. My wife went to Minico. My mother-in-law went to Minico. My father-in-law went to Burley. So we have a lot of different ties around here, and I know how much this rivalry runs deep, especially on the football field.
So the helicopter, hopefully you folks saw this on the screen, the helicopter pilot gave the ball to Minico, and Minico gave it to the AD, Brady Trenkle, if I'm not mistaken, with the beautiful locks of hair. As a ball dude, I'm always jealous of beautiful hair. And Brady Trenkle will give that ball to the players as they come out of the Spartan helmet, Dallin, as we get started in this pre-game. Dallin, this is going to be a great one. You've already mentioned you got some family that have participated in this game in the past. It's a big rivalry. Unfortunately, though, for Burley, Minico has dominated this rivalry the last 2 decades as the helicopter's getting set to take off. Again, hopefully you can hear us. If not, you get to hear the helicopter. Burley Bobcats walking out of their locker room, getting ready for their pregame. But like I was saying, Minico dominating this rivalry, trying to change things tonight as the helicopter takes off. Getting set. That is from the Minico Hospital, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Dallin.
Just down the road, not too far from here.
Down the road. Thankful for all those doctors, nurses, first responders who take care of us when things go south. But Burley trying to change their fortunes tonight as they're on a 2-decade losing streak. Dallin, how are they going to do that tonight?
Well, from what I've seen from Burley this year, it's and kind of what we've seen from Coach Anderson since he's taken over, and this is his 3rd season now. They are an offensive team, an offensive powerhouse. Last week had a little bit of a struggle against Preston. Still ended up being able to put 28 points on the board after losing starting quarterback Mac Jensen. But J.D. Tarbett got a lot of experience in that game. He had a whole week to prepare as the starting quarterback for a rivalry game. And a couple keys to the game that we've been in contact with Coach Anderson about is really just winning the turnover battle. That's a very, very important one because this Minico defense, we'll talk about it in just a minute, but they are maybe the best defense in the state, if not top 2 or 3. And if Burley is going to have any chance in this ball game, they have to make sure that they win the turnover battle. Another thing, like I talked about, they're an explosive offense, and they need to create explosive plays and not give any cheap ones to the Spartans as well. And last thing is just to be aggressive. This is a rivalry game. This is a very big game. Like you said, they have not won in 20 years, literally 20 years since they last won this ball game. And so really they got nothing to compare against. They've never seen their older siblings win this game. Some of their parents might not have won this game. And so they've got nothing to lose.
2005, Dallin. Stop right there.
Okay, that's fair. But man, they've got nothing to lose, and kind of the pressure's on Minico to keep this streak going. Streaks are a big word in sports, and they got to keep this going if they want to.
And streaks were meant to be broken, as we've seen the last 2 weeks. We had a team out in East Idaho. I'm from East Idaho, Dallin. Sugar Salem Diggers were on a 1,000,000-game win streak. The joke was they haven't lost since Abraham Lincoln was the president. And but two losses in a row. Now Sugar Salem finds himself in a place that they're not used to. Maybe Burley can do that same thing to Minico tonight. Burley coming in at 0-0. This is their first conference game of the season, 1-3 overall, while Minico has a mirrored record, coming at 3-1 overall, but 2-0 in conference with wins over Skyview, Mountain Home, Jerome last week against Jerome, 41-7. On the other hand, Cameron Anderson's Bobcats, they beat Century a few weeks ago, but then they've lost to Emmett, Bear River out of Utah, and Preston last week was 45-28 that you mentioned earlier. Injury report, we already received a little bit of that from Dallin. Of course, QB Mac Jensen is out after that season-ending leg injury that he sustained last week in that first quarter, second drive of the game against Preston. So J.D. Tarbett is going to get the starting nod for the Burley Bobcats. Also, Burley's missing a few offensive linemen and defensive starters, but Coach Anderson says no excuses. They prepare for depth.
Absolutely, and this is a football program that a couple of years ago was not one you wanted to be a part of, frankly. It was just one that hardly won any games, but they've really built a good culture since Coach Anderson has been here, and I don't expect them to just lay down tonight. I expect a really good effort from the Burley Bobcats.
Well, with 6 minutes remaining until game time, we're going to take a quick break and recognize our nation's flag. We'll be right back. You're watching Magic Valley Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
Idaho isn't your average state, and we are not your average people. We're not afraid to jump feet first, and we see the world a little differently. We know the importance of slowing down and the value of catching up. When we're not busy getting lost, we're looking out for one another. Our whitewater is aggressive, but our driving is not. We know all about taking chances, but we also know our limits. We drive safely because we care. It's who we are.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Welcome back to Magic Valley Game Night on IdahoSports.com. Hopefully you heard some of that from the Minico marching band playing a nice rendition, Dallin, of the Star Spangled Banner, after which had some great fireworks just north of the end zone. And earlier we had a little mini cannon, Dallin, at midfield when the Minico Spartans came out of the tunnel. Nice pyrotechnics to start this game, and nice Star Spangled Banner to get us started into this rivalry matchup. Let's go back to some of the keys of the game for Minico and for Burley. For Minico, they talked about they wanted to win the turnover battle on both sides. So for defense, they want to create turnovers, and for offense, obviously they want to avoid those. And then explosive plays. Talked to Coach Sherm Blaser, and man, they want to create explosive plays, but also keep everything in front of them, avoid those explosive plays. Finally, Coach said we're going to be aggressive. Like you mentioned that earlier, Dallin, in a rivalry game, you want to go fast, go hard, and be aggressive. How about for Burley?
Yeah, for Burley, it's going to be it's going to be a game that they want to really focus on every individual snap. They play really fast. That's what the Bobcats do. They play really, really fast. Coach Anderson did say, though, that they have struggled a little bit with fundamental discipline every single play and getting all 11 to be mentally engaged. And so they want to go more than just 5 or 6 or more than just the skill players, more than just the offensive line. They want all 11 on both sides of the ball to be making an impact. And when that's right, he said they are very tough. And they also want to finish in the red zone, make sure that they take every single advantage to put points on the board. And finally, slow down Cranny Sonner. He's one of the best running backs in the state. And Minico seems to have a factory of those every single year. When one graduates, another one steps in, and he's an absolute beast.
Injury report for Minico. We already discussed Burley's injury report, which is a little bit heavy, especially with that starting quarterback being out, Mac Jensen. Hopefully he recovers well and can get back next year for his senior season. For Minico, they're mostly healthy, said Coach Sherm Blaser, and the only injury really is their junior wide receiver, Ethan Heward, who has a sprained he sustained a sprained ACL versus Bishop Kelly a few weeks ago. They said he was going to be game time decision. Talked to one of their coaches, and Coach Dylan Corliss, their defensive backs coach and their defensive coordinator, said, yeah, he's going to be out for this game. Impact players for this game tonight. We already mentioned Preston Sonner Cranny. Man, what a player. Gap tooth, big personality, goofy. He almost has 600 yards so far. Just a great leader and a great running back. Obviously, Braxton Trenkle is going to be huge. And then on defense, Will Nelson and linebackers Junior Bodie and Cale Baker, 2 twins, Dallin.
I love twins. I'm a twin. I live for twins.
Burley kicking off, so Burley will receive in the second half. And here we go. The River Rivalry. School is 7 miles apart. You can see as both stands in the stadium are full. Kick to about the goal line. He will take it out. Has some nice blockers. And he gets a nice return almost about the 40-yard line. Great start by the Minico special teams. That was number 7 for Minico, Jaden Sanders.
One thing I love about this game is that they're both wearing their school color as well. There's no white on the field. I love that in rivalry games. Just a small detail. I love it.
Handoff right up the middle, and he gets blocked immediately. Fans on this side love that. We're here on the east side of the stands on the Burley side, and Burley Bobcats stuff the run on first down. They're bringing up second and about 9.
Yeah, that's what Burley wants to do to Sonner Cranny. They want to just stop any type of explosive play, 1 to 2 yards at a maximum.
Hard count gets a defensive lineman to jump. For the Bobcats, that was number 74 who jumped, Zach Hobbs. He's going to come out for a down. So free yards for the Spartans offense can bring up 2nd and 4.
I love a hard count early as well in the game, especially in a rivalry game.
Another handoff, and they stuffed once again. Great defense by the Bobcats. A number of tacklers in there, but the first one to meet him was number 4, Mark Loveland. Beautiful night. High 70s. Sun's just going down. Steps back to throw. He's got a man wide open. Finally covered in great final coverage. That was number 6, Talon Guzman. Recovers. He's a DB on that far side, Dallin, and recovered just enough to stop that ball because that wide receiver was open.
Yeah, those the game that I did a Minico game week 0, and that was something that I saw a lot from Trenkle. He loves to take shots downfield. It's either a screen or a shot downfield, and we saw a fake screen there, a shot downfield, and that's something that obviously Burley was prepped and ready for and took great advantage to do a quick 3 and out.
Number 9, River Casey, back to punt. Man in motion. That's Cale Baker. A nice punt there for Minico, and that's going to take a Minico bounce to the 10-yard line. So the Burley Bobcats will take over after a nice defensive stand to start this game, Dallin.
I mean, we talked about how Burley's given up a lot of points this year. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I mean, clearly they came ready. They knew the game plan. They stopped Preston Sonnercranny on the first couple plays. They stopped the deep ball, and they get the ball back really early. I mean, we're only a minute and 20 seconds off the clock so far in this quarter. I mean, that's basically just taking the kickoff, and you still get the ball to start the second half.
So we get our first look at the Burley offense. We'll see what they draw up here on 1st and 10 at about the 11-yard line. Takes a snap, quick handoff. Hits that A gap, no problem. He'll get a couple yards. I believe that's the longest gain of the game besides that penalty, Dallin.
Yeah, and when we talked about Preston Sonnercranny, Bodie Coombs is also a very, very talented running back and will play a big part in this game tonight for the Bobcats.
Low snap and a quick handoff. And he's going to get minimal yards, if any. Going to bring up 3rd and long. Just getting underway here, 10-11 to go in the first quarter. Rivalry game, fighting for the Golden Oar. Burley Bobcats playing visitor to the Minico Spartans. 3rd and 6. Back to pass. Quick outside screen to the flat. Receives the contact and keeps moving. That's a nice yards after catch for number 2, Bodie Coombs, the running back that Dallin just referenced. And that'll be 4th and short, just short. Ball on the 14-yard line, 4th and 1, and they're going for it, Dallin.
Yeah, it's Cameron Anderson's, not Cameron Anderson. Coach Anderson's play style is aggressive. He likes those 4th and short situations, and they execute there.
Great execution, giant hole up the middle. Dallin, you and I could have walked through that together. Hip to hip, first down, Burley Bobcats. First down of the game goes to the green. Bobcats in the green uniforms, Minico in the red with those silver helmets. Another handoff to Coombs. Coombs gets tackled at his feet and then finally brought down, but that'll be a gain of about 4. 2nd and manageable for the Bobcats. So far playing aggressive, going fast, going hard is Anderson's offense. A fake handoff, and they bit. Nice throw to the flat, and that's going to be close to the first down, if not the first down. The chain gain moves, it is a first down.
Yeah, and that was Cove Thompson. He's one of their most talented receivers. We'll see him a little bit on defense as well. But when he's in the open field, he's got some speed to him as well.
So 2 nice plays from Burley to get yards after catch and establish that first down and get some more comfortable yardage. Here's a run up that B gap. Another run there from that was Mark Loveland. So nice run there from Loveland, giving Bodie Coombs a breather. 2nd and 5, 8:43 to play. Ball on the 43-yard line, just getting started in this first quarter. They had him, but Loveland is able to avoid the tackler. He gets the first down, but there is a flag on the play. We'll find out what that flag was for. So maybe that's why he couldn't get the tackle, because he was being held. Because it looked like he just stopped playing there, Dallin.
I was going to say, I think it was the exact, I don't want to say tackler, but the exact defender that was being held that missed the tackle. And something I'll say about Minico, just before we get going too far, I love that they have black numerals. They had gold numerals forever, and it was so hard to read their uniforms.
100%.
So I'm loving these black numerals on the uniforms this year.
That was Jaden Chacon who couldn't get the tackle because he was being held. 2nd and 12, ball on the 37-yard line. Another throw to the outside, slips and falls. And that's going to be 0 gain. And the pass was to number 11. That was Kendricks Kenobi.
And Kenobi had it, I think 3 or 4 yards at least there.
Yeah, at least, but just slipped on the pass. Pass was a little bit behind him, so when he torqued his body, forced him to slip. So Burley waiting for the call from the sideline. So far, a nice sequence from J.D. Tarbett. Doing a good job on this drive, but now 3rd and long. Throws it over the middle. That's to his tight end. That ball hung just long enough for the DBs to get to it, and that's going to be incomplete. Pass was intended for number 87, Tucker Alvey. Tucker Alvey, one of the tight ends on this team, had a good chat with the tight end coach, Adam Hope. Shout out to him helping us with some of the pronunciations. But ball falls incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th and 10. Ball on the 38-yard line, 8:05 to play, and Burley Bobcats are set to punt. So far, lots of defense, Dallin.
Yeah, and honestly, I think there was a key to the game from, I believe it was from Coach Blazer, that said, win the turnover battle. And I think that from what we've seen from the first 2 possessions of the game, that might be what it ends up coming down to, because both these teams came out ready to play on defense, and a lot of emotion in this game so far.
High snap goes over the punter, and he collects it, and he does get the punt off and makes something out of nothing, makes lemonade out of lemons there. The ball will go to the 40, it looks like 48-yard line, but flag on the play.
Yeah, and that flag came immediately, so it's either going to be a legal procedure, maybe, or legal formation, or an offsides, which would definitely benefit the Bobcats here.
So
I think they did a delay of game sign, but I don't think that's what it was.
Looks like they picked up the flag. So that's going to be 1st and 10 for Minico as they hand it off. Another flag on the play, and he's brought down pretty quickly after a couple yards. We'll find out what that flag was. Another run from Preston Sonner Craney.
And that one, I think, was an illegal shift. I think number 8, Cole Huff, wasn't quite set before the play began.
So 5-yard penalty will bring up 1st and 15, 7:49 to play in the first quarter. So maybe a couple jitters to start this game. Too many penalties for both coaches, no doubt. Nice throw to the flat. He's wide open. He gets plenty of yards after catch, and then some. Missed tackles. Nice play there from number 7, Jaden Sanders, the junior wide receiver. First down, Minico in to the red zone.
And that was a pick route, and it worked perfectly because it took 2 Burley defenders out of the play.
Fake handoff. He rolls to his left, throws the outside. That's completed. Another throw to Sanders. Picks up about 7 yards. We'll bring up 2nd and 3, 7:26 to play.
Yeah, clearly seeing something with the slot receiver as Sanders has gotten the ball 2 plays in a row.
Burley looks to be selling out on the run, so they've been throwing to the flats. And perhaps that opens the running game here for the Spartans offense. Snap. Run up to that B gap, cuts inside. And he's going to be tripped up. And will that be enough for the first down? It will be. So that'll be 1st and goal for the Spartans. And perhaps we'll get our first score of the game, Dallin.
Yeah, and I hope they can, those of you at home can see it with this glare going on.
Another run up the middle. Hard-nosed running from the Spartans. 7 minutes and counting. A line change here as we see 3-4 guys substitute in and out.
Maybe a heavy jumbo package back there, a lot of lead blockers.
Bring in tight ends, bring in big wide receivers. They do a jumbo package to the right side. Picking his way through. Does he get in for 6? He does. Touchdown, Minico.
And that was more of a drive of what Minico wanted. It'll be interesting to see how Burley responds after this, but that was about as much of a bounce back drive as you can have out there.
They're going for 2, direct snap. Cuts inside, this number 14. He gets in for 2, and that's going to be 2 more for Minico, and they lead early against the Burley Bobcats 8-0.
And we just want to thank one of our sponsors tonight, which is AMI Supply. AMI Supply provides agricultural and industrial equipment and tools for the Burley area. Their friendly staff will help you find the tools you need for any project, and they guarantee you will be satisfied with their service. Call them today at 208-678-4632 or stop in at 719 Overland Avenue in Burley. You can also go see my father-in-law over there, Corey Winnett. I've been working at AMI for a long, long time. Those people at AMI I've seen personally do a great job.
Thank you to AMI Supply. That was a touchdown from Preston Sonner-Cranny. 2-yarder with 6:34 to go with a 2-point conversion good on the run. And so with 6:34 to go, Minico Spartans lead the Burley Bobcats 8-0.
What a drive. It just feels like it just happened so quick.
Well, when you start on the 48-yard line and you get positive yards both on the ground, but mostly on the air, good things happen. Minico definitely saw something from Burley that they were selling out on the run, so they got to the flats and opened things up for the last 2 run plays, and including the 2-point conversion. Ball bounces into the end zone. That's going to be a touchback, and they'll take it at the 20-yard line.
And a little bit of the different possession last time for Burley is they did exactly the opposite of Minico. They started strong. They had many good plays, but that holding penalty really ate them up. They were not able to really move the ball afterwards. So avoiding mistakes like that, if they can do so on this drive to put together what they did last time, we'll see how well they can recover.
J.D. Talbot in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Hand off to the right side. Hits the C gap. And he's brought down after a gain of a couple. Bring up 2nd and 8. 6:23 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, and both Coombs and Loveland have both been pretty impressive so far through the first 2 drives. It's good to see a little mix of the two. The previous game that I did of Burley, we saw a lot of Bodie Coombs, and he tired out in the 4th quarter. So I think it's good to see a little bit of a mix early on in this game.
Back to pass, almost intercepted. Player was covered the entire time. The pass was intended for Isaac Armendariz, the senior linebacker who also plays a little slot. Got that name wrong. There's number 10 for Burley. I was looking at the wrong
wrong team.
Wrong roster, dude. That was Tregan Darrington. Pass intended for the senior linebacker / slot receiver. Pass back, a little sidearm flick across the middle, and that's no good. Covered by a couple DBs. That pass was intended for number 2, Bodie Coombs. Coombs just doing a quick slant, but Minico knows that ball is going to be likely going to Bodie Coombs if he's out for a catch. Ball's incomplete. So quickly, a 4th and 7, Dallin.
Yeah, and last time this was not a very good play for Burley as they punted. One thing that Burley does, they have their quarterback punt, so it gives them a little bit of an option if things are open. I wouldn't expect it here, but as Tarbert drops back to punt, hopefully a better snap this time for them.
Play clock's got to be winding down as they do a late substitution. Tarbert calls to the punt. It's a bouncing snap, but he gets the punt off no problem to about the 45-yard line and calls for a fair catch. But there is a flag on the field. Looked like they're going to call a false start on the Bobcats. And so they're going to do a re-kick there, Dallin.
I'm surprised that the play went through if it was a false start as well. I wondered why the punt returner didn't return it because there was about 15 yards of space, but maybe there was a whistle. We just didn't hear it up here.
Great crowd here on both sides, as you can see on your screen as we've been playing this game so far. Minico Spartan side is full. Here on the Burley side, full as well. These schools only 7 miles apart. The snap is over his head once again, but quickly tries to get the punt off. And that takes a nice Burley bounce and they'll get to about the 28-yard line. So special teams for Burley on these punts, not great, Dallin.
No, and that's a real backbreaker for a game, especially where Burley has struggled defensively throughout the year. Their offense has been great, but their defense has struggled. And it's a point that Coach Anderson made as well, that they need to be better on defense, and things like that do not help the defensive cause.
So Minico with amazing field position to start. Cranny Sonner takes it up the middle. Hard tackling as he kind of bounces around, eventually gets spun, but keeps his feet under him and gets a couple yards. I should say several yards. Bring it up 2nd and 2 after a gain of 8.
I wonder if we had a helmet come off.
2 players called to come off the field.
It must have been a helmet because I didn't see any.
And there was no flag either.
No.
So more whistles, and looks like timeout called by the Bobcats. We'll take a quick timeout and be right back. You're watching Magic Valley Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
At all our local Teton dealerships, we're committed to our no problem philosophy.
No problem means we'll find it, not we don't have it.
No problem means the same fair prices that we've always offered on our new vehicles.
Because when you shop with us, it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicles.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Welcome back to Magic Valley Game Night on IdahoSports.com. Joel Richardson with Dallin Fryer bringing you this game live, free, no sign-in required. Thank you to all of our sponsors for making this game possible. For all you folks who couldn't get out here to Minico High School tonight here in Rupert, Idaho. Hand off to the right side. Preston Sonner Cranny's got 2nd level, and he's going to be in for 6. Touchdown, Minico! You hear the cannon there after that touchdown. Every touchdown they score, the cannon goes off here. So with 5:08 remaining, Cranny gets 2nd level, and he's in for 6.
Hey, he was pretty much untouched all the way. What a huge hole, like you've mentioned earlier. They have the ability to do it with this offensive line.
They try the 2-point conversion, and that gets blown up by Burley's defense. Flag on the play. False start anyway, so 2-point conversion is going to be no good. So Minico now only up 2 touchdowns when it could have been 3 scores.
Yeah, and that could play big and very pivotal as this game goes on. Burley obviously had a couple mistakes with those long snaps, and that's really kind of the difference in the game so far. The offense has not looked too terrible by any means, and hard with a defense to tell a defense after they just got off the field to go back and do that. So, I mean, definitely not out of this game by any means yet for the Bobcats.
Yeah, if you're the Bobcats, you're looking for any kind of positive momentum or any positive plays, and you got to be happy about stopping that 2-point conversion. They came hot, they played aggressive, and it paid off. So hopefully that gets something going here for Burley, so they stay in this game as they're down 2 touchdowns. Let's go back to some of the players to watch for the Burley Bobcats. On defense, DB Talon Guzman, he's been playing well so far, but on offense, now that Burley's going to be on offense, we've already talked about these guys a few times, called their names. Kendricks Kenobi played well so far, and Bodie Coombs, of course. Listen for their names as we move throughout this broadcast. Hopefully here behind us, the train coming by. The railroad tracks are right by the stadium. Just an awesome atmosphere. Also, we had a helicopter landing to start this game to give the game ball to Minico. As the kick is up, it's a squib kick, and Burley's going to receive it, and it's returnable. Nice return here from number 7 for Burley, Cove Thompson. And he's tackled out of bounds. And Burley's going to start with a little better field position than they did last drive.
Yeah, and they really need to get something here on first down. That's what helped them in the first possession until the penalty, obviously. But they really need to get a positive play here because last possession was a very 3rd and long, and it felt like a very 3rd and long, if that makes sense.
J.D. Tarbett in the shotgun. He's got trips to the bottom of your screen. Running back to his left hip. It's a little RPO, and he decides to give it. Nice run there from number 4, Mark Loveland. He and Bodie Coombs have kind of been sharing the reps tonight. Dallin mentioned a few weeks ago, Coombs, that by the time he got to the 4th quarter, he was gassed. He's trying to give him a little bit more breathing room. Quarterback decides to pull it himself, looking for air. Finally gets the ball thrown off, and that's intercepted, and that's returnable, tackled, but not before the interception by number 4 for Minico, Nate Wayment, the senior free safety. And you've heard his name for 3 years as a 3-year starter, having another great season his senior year.
Yeah, Wayment is a name you'll recognize as Carson Wayment, great quarterback for Minico the last couple years as well. It's a name that I think will stay in the Minico record books over the coming years as well.
Unsportsmanlike conduct called against the Spartans, so they're going to march back 15 yards to the 40-yard line.
And I don't know that was necessarily a designed throwback that Tarbett did. That could show a little bit of his inexperience there rather than just taking the 6 or 7 yard loss and cutting his losses, trying to make a play, which, I mean, obviously you give him credit for doing so, but that can come back to bite you as well, as we saw there.
Yeah. Run by Preston Crownie-Sonner gets gobbled up, but is able to get a few more yards. That's what he does. That's how he runs. He keeps those legs churning and is usually getting positive yards. That first drive, Burley did a good job stopping the run. But the second and third time, he's able to move that ball. Another handoff, but this time to the far side. That's number 7, Jaden Sanders, on the jet sweep. And he's stopped by the Bobcats defense. 3rd and 7, 3:45 to play. Ball on the 36-yard line.
And I know it's early, but this is a very, very big play for the Burley defense right here.
Totally agree. As they jump offsides once again. That was number 74 jumping, Zach Hobbs. I believe he was the same guy that jumped early in the first quarter. So he's going to come off for a rep. 3:27 and counting to play, 14-0. Minico leading this rivalry game. Takes the snap, hands off to Sonner Craney. And he gets a couple more yards. On 1st and 10. They bring up 2nd and 5. Another hand up right up the middle. And again, another few more yards. So some hard-nosed football in this late in this first quarter. And their last drive, they had to throw it a little bit to open up that run. And since then, they've been able to get positive yards on every run play. Fake handoff, play action. Throws it downfield over the top. And that's going to be caught. Incomplete, just out of bounds. Nice throw there, but the ball hung a little bit too long, Dallin.
Yeah, and I mean, you knew the pass had to be coming eventually. We talked about it early. Trinkle loves to throw the deep ball, and especially with this type of offense where they run. There's still a lot of space on the field, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to that play pretty soon.
One of the keys of the game for the Spartans were explosive plays. Execute and defend them. Run to that right side is stopped after a minimal gain from Sonner Craney. Bring up third and long with 2:17 to play in the first quarter. Minico leading 14-0, trying to punch one more in before the end of the first quarter. Throw over the middle. That's going to be almost intercepted, and he's tackled into the end zone. Touchdown, Spartans. That was to number 38. 38.
Oh, eight.
Oh, number 8, excuse me.
Sorry.
Cole Huff.
And that's one of those plays that as a receivers coach, you absolutely love because you do that tip drill a lot. And whether or not there was a little tip there, that was a difficult catch that Huff had to make there.
So an 18-yard touchdown catch from Huff. And the extra point is no good. So 20-0, Minico is blanking the Burley Bobcats so far. I think so far Minico playing an almost perfect game except for those 2-point conversions or extra points, Dallin.
Yeah, that's really all we've seen that's really been a struggle for them because on defense, I mean, this Minico defense, we can't say enough about them. The most points they've allowed this year was 20, which was to Bishop Kelly, which is a very formidable opponent. But other games this year, it's been either a blank slate in the single digits, and I think one game that barely reached the double digits. This defense is about as good as it gets, and the offense does just enough when they're given great field position, led by Sonner Cranny. Obviously, he's an explosive running back. We see even just his cuts that he makes. He gets 2 or 3 extra yards every single play. He's very effective.
The kick is up. It's a good kick. That's going to bounce to about the 1-yard line. They're going to take it. Nice run back, but just shy of that 20-yard line sweet spot. So the Bobcats offense will take over at about the 19-yard line with 1:58 to play in the first quarter, down 20-0. What do you call here, Dallin, to kind of get your offense moving a little bit?
Well, the tough part is that the run is really what this Burley offense has been, especially with the injury to Mac Jensen. And so I don't know that they can necessarily air it out like this, but they need to find some way to give a little bit of space, whether that's with screens, whether that's with sweeps on the outside. Up the middle, though, it just hasn't been effective tonight.
Tarbett tries a hard count. Doesn't get the Minico defense and their discipline to jump. Tarbett moves his running back to his right hip. Calling out the defensive scheme. Takes the snap. Fake throw, he hands it off. Broken tackle there. Nice running there from number 4, Mark Loveland.
And tonight, Loveland's really made more of an impact than Coombs as well, which has been pretty impressive. And I can't say I really expected Loveland. He's had a good part in the season as well, but a lot of it has been through the passing game, not as much the running game.
So Mark Loveland having a nice game so far. Really the only sweet spot for the Burley Bobcats as they're tackled in the backfield. No gain, loss of a few yards. That was Bodie Coombs on the run. So Loveland really the only running back, the only player on this Bobcats offense producing positive yards. 1:13 to play in the first quarter. 20-0, Minico leads the Bobcats.
And Tarbett did have 236 passing yards last week. A lot of that was in garbage time in the third and fourth quarters, but he can air it out. Hopefully this game doesn't become a point that he has to do so as well, though.
So 1st and 10. Nice throw to the outside. Pass caught by number 10, Tregan Darrington.
And little plays like that give a quarterback a lot of confidence. Yes, that's only 4 or 5 yards, but throws like that say, okay, I can complete passes. I can get the ball downfield, and it can open up the offense a lot more as well.
That's going to be 3rd down, 3rd and about 7 after that loss and that positive throw. Throw it on the sideline is incomplete. A lot of traffic there. It was a nice idea, but pass intended for Marcus Armstrong, and he's not able to haul that in as he had two DBs coming out, and the safety and the DB thought to sandwich him. Dangerous play there.
That was
nice try.
That was almost like an instant replay of the Minico touchdown, just with the opposite result.
So 4th and 7, trying to do a hard count. And they're going for it. They want to play aggressive, and they're doing just that. Talbot tries to run away from the sack, but he cannot. Great defense there from number 54, Cale Baker. So turnover on downs on the 4th and 7. And Minico yet again has great field position for their offense. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. Waiting for the call from the officials.
As I say, I think there was still a few seconds left.
So they're going to put a few more seconds on the clock to officially end the first quarter. And if I'm Burley, I can't wait to get out of this first quarter, as it's been, frankly, a nightmare for both sides of the football.
Yeah, they just need to flip the field. They want to walk to the other end of the field.
Maybe the grass will be greener down there, Dallin. So 7 seconds on the clock. Take the snap, and they run to that side, that far side, bounces the outside, finally is tackled. Nice run there from number 7, Jaden Sanders once again. Nice run there from the wide receiver. And that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. Minico Spartans leading 20-0 against the visitor Burley Bobcats. We'll take a quick break and be right back for the start of the second quarter. You're watching Magic Valley Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
It's not like it won't start.
Welcome back to Magic Valley Game Night on IdahoSports.com. Minico Spartans leading the Burley Bobcats by a score of 20-0 as we get set to start the second quarter. 12 ticks off in the first, 12 ticks on in the second. Joel Richardson here with Dallin Fryer. And so far, all Minico as they take over on 1st and 10. Preston Sonner-Cranny marches into the end zone. No problem to that far side. Great blocking and holes for days. Another touchdown by the senior running back.
Yeah, and just another display of the offensive line's greatness of Minico right now, and the greatness of Preston Sonner-Cranny as well. Just doing it all on offense tonight for the Spartans.
The extra point is no good. Again, something that Minico can work on if they want to make a big push for that conference title and state playoffs. I've seen a lot of good 5A football, and they have great special teams, especially long field goal kickers.
Yeah, and I believe the week 0 game that I called for Minico, they did have a kicker, because I think they even made a field goal in the game. And so I'm not sure. We didn't hear of any specific injuries from their coaching staff, but I wonder if that was either an injury early on, or maybe it's a soccer player. Could be a soccer player that isn't here at a game tonight.
Right.
I know a lot of schools do that nowadays, but clearly, like you said, missing that tonight for the Spartans.
So we'll get a name for you as soon as we can from that kicker. This game is moving super fast, Dallin. All that running that's been going on, that clock is rolling, and we're already into the second quarter. So with 11:56 remaining in the second quarter, Preston Sonner-Cranny knocks off a 15-yard touchdown run. PAT is no good, bringing us to 26-0. Special teams for the Bobcats. Decent run. Gets them to about the 16-yard line.
I will say that was a different kicker, and I believe that actually was the kicker that did the field goal and PAT kicking in the first game that I did, which was number 44, Henry Friedrich. Maybe they're just trying out a few different things tonight, because that kickoff looked a little bit more like what we see in a traditional kickoff, end over end, rather than the line drive squib kick that we've seen the first couple times from the Spartans.
Timeout Bobcats, and while we're taking that timeout, let's recognize one of our great sponsors.
Yeah, I want to recognize once again AMI Supply. AMI Supply provides agricultural and industrial equipment and tools for the Burley area. Their friendly staff will help you find the tools you need for any project, and they guarantee you will be satisfied with their service. Call them today at 208-678-4632 or stop in at 719 Overland Avenue in Burley.
And say hi to Dallin Fryer's father-in-law.
That's right. He's been there, I think, for at least over 20 years. It might be close to 25, maybe even more than that. He's been there a long time. And obviously a good place, great environment as you go in there.
It's a beautiful night here in Rupert. And we're at the home of the Minico High School Spartans. The sun has gone down. The Friday night lights are on. Both sides are full. Both sides of the stadium are full. Great student band over there. Student representation from both sides. Cheerleaders from Burley here. Really great night for a football game. Unfortunately for the Burley Bobcats, they find themselves down 26-0 with the ball, hoping to get something positive going. Minico defense has been stifling tonight so far. A QB run is going to take it himself, and that gets a minimal gain. J.D. Tarbett filling in for his fellow injured quarterback, Mac Jensen, left the game during the first quarter last week against Preston. Season-ending leg injury. Thoughts and prayers to him. Hopefully he gets better as he gets second level. Nice run there from number 2, Bodie Coombs. That might be his longest run of the night, Dallin.
Yeah, and maybe something that could start to activate him back into the offense, because that is really a game changer if Bodie Coombs is going for the Bobcats.
Nice hole in that left side. And it's going to bring up, we're waiting for the chain gain. It's going to bring up second and short. Or third and short, sorry. 10:58 to play until halftime. Burley looking to get one of their first downs of the game. They do. And Talbot is leveled as he tries to slide down. But no call there, and that should be a first down for Burley.
And that's pretty good hit by Friedrich there, but Tarbett able to pop right back up. That's also something that, as an offense, you get confidence when you see a quarterback get up from those things so quickly.
3 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. Tarbett asking them to move over to become more like trips. It's going to be a throw to the far side. And that pass falls incomplete. Hits the hands and comes off. Nice defense from Minico. Pass intended for number 13, Scott Crump. So 2nd and 10 as the clock stops. 10:46 to play.
Yeah, and Tarbett must have seen something there, because I think he thought the linebacker wasn't going to get out that quick as he pushed his receivers over, but still able to make the play there.
Puts his man in motion. Almost sacked. That pass is caught. Nice block there. But it's just going to get a gain of a few. That'll bring up 3rd and long still for the Burley Bobcats. Nice tackle from Nate Wayman. And the pass was to Kendricks Kenobi. Tarbett takes the snap, hands it off. Spin and gets a couple more, and that's going to bring up 4th and about 5 to 6 yards. Hard to tell.
Yeah, and this is a tough situation for the Bobcats because it's 26-0, and you're in your own territory. It's not that deep into your own territory, but you kind of have to go for it, but you have to get this too.
4th and 4, 10:06. Dallin is absolutely right. Get this to stay in this ball game. Low snap, takes it, throw to the outside. That's incomplete, just outside of the hands. Pass was intended for number 11, Kendricks Kenobi, and he's frustrated as he goes to the bench as it's another turnover on downs for the Spartans defense. My goodness, every catch is contested, every run for the most part. Someone is there almost immediately.
Yeah, we can't advertise the Spartan defense enough.
Quick snap, run to the outside. Nice tackle there, he was waiting for him. Jaden Sanders will get a gain of barely 1. Nice tackle there from Burley. 9:35 and counting to play, 26-0. Minico looking to punch another one in. Hand off to Sonner Cranny. He gets second level, breaking tackles, jumping over a guy, breaking another tackle. Finally goes out of bounds. Nice run there from Sonner Cranny.
Yeah, we don't have any type of official stats, but he's got to be over the century mark at this point, right?
Well, and maybe to push back, maybe he hasn't because they've had such good field position every time that they've taken over.
That's an excellent point.
Quick timeout from Burley, and we'll take a timeout as well. You're watching Magic Valley Game Night. Minico leading 26-0. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
This year, help dreams come true with the Ideal Idaho 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits, ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, K-12 education, and student loan repayment. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org if you would like to learn more.
An Idaho-based credit union is leading the way in community initiatives and charitable partnerships. Recognizing a need for change, Lookout Credit Union underwent a major transformation to put its employees and their community first. Through 2 strong initiatives, Lookout Credit Union is ensuring a brighter future for its community. To find out more, visit www.lookoutcu.com.
Welcome back to Magic Valley Game Night on IdahoSports.com. 26-0, Minico Spartans leading the Burley Bobcats. Handoff to the near side. Bouncing across players, jumping over them. Over and under goes Preston Sonner Cranny. And that'll be another first down for the Minico Spartans.
And I'll give you one guess of where the ball is going to be going on this play.
Sonner Cranny going for the hat trick. He's got...
I think he has 3 already.
Has the hat trick. We couldn't quite tell who that first runner was, but we gave it to Sonner Cranny. So he has the hat trick, potentially going for the hat trick here if we missed that first touchdown. And the handoff was not to Sonner Cranny, but a flag on the field, so stand by for that call. They're going to call false start on the offense. Had a little I formation going on. Sonner Cranny was the third. A little misfire there from the cannon, no problem. So they're going to try that play again.
the PA announcer says, a little early, and you'll have a chance to blow that in just a few minutes, or just a second as well. Confidence in the Spartans offense, which, I mean, rightfully so after what they've done tonight.
2nd and goal on the 6-yard line. Hand off to Sonner Cranny. He doesn't get it. He's just short of the touchdown. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 1.
Yeah, I think it's a direct. It looks like it's a direct snap to Sonner Cranny, if I'm not mistaken. As we see him coming in to call the play now, I think that's exactly right.
So doing a little wildcat here are the Minico Spartans. These are good reps. As they switch things around, they go power left. Direct snap to Sonner Cranny as Dallin called it. He almost slips. Does he get in for 6? He does. Touchdown, Sonner Cranny from the 2-yard line. So with 8:19 to play, Sonner Cranny punches another one in from the direct snap from 2 yards out.
And I think they're going to go for 2 here as well. I thought we were going to see Friedrich come on and attempt a PAT, but it looks like they're sticking with this formation again.
Another direct snap to Sonner Cranny. He's throwing, and that throw is incomplete. So the extra point is no good. Nice stop there from the Burley Bobcats. But the Spartans do more invading in that end zone, and they score yet another 6 points, giving us 32-0. So a quick game reset so far. All touchdowns from the Minico Spartans in the first quarter with 6:34 to play. Preston Sonner Cranny ran a 2-yard touchdown. 2-point conversion was good, giving us 8-0. Then later in the first quarter with 5:08 to play, Preston Sonner Cranny, a 21-yard touchdown run. The 2-point conversion failed, bringing us 14-0. Then to end just about at the end of the first quarter, wide receiver for Minico, trying to find his first name. Last name was Huff.
Cole Huff.
Cole Huff, thank you.
Yep.
Down. Cole Huff caught an 18-yard touchdown from Braxton Tranquil. With 2:03 to play, the extra point was no good, bringing us 20-0. And then Cranny rattled off 2 touchdown runs, both in the second quarter and this second quarter. PAT was good once, or PAT failed on both times, bringing us to 32-0.
Yeah, great tackle there on the kickoff by Bodie Baker. I mean, we mentioned in the pregame that Bodie and Kale, they are twins, and both of them have made big open field tackles that I think we can't really understate, especially on special teams. You don't always see your top players, especially linebackers, making big plays on special teams. But, man, both of them have, I think the last 2 kickoffs, if I'm not mistaken, both of them have made an open field tackle, which is just impressive.
Yeah, Bodie and Kale Baker, twins, like we've mentioned, like Dallin was referring to. They also have a brother, an older brother on the team, senior wide receiver Griffin Baker. The older brother, too, the linebacker twins. Of course, those linebackers are juniors, and Griffin Baker is a senior. Super fun to play with your brothers. Another tackle for a loss from the Minico defense, and Burley Bobcats cannot get anything going.
Yeah, and that was a timing play. Coombs kind of ran out of the play before the ball was put in his chest. It actually ended up on the ground right there, but Tarbett able to recover.
So fumble on the play. Tarbett recovers. 8:06 to play, 2nd and 15. It's going to be a run up the left side, but can barely get to the line of scrimmage. Another tackle for loss for Minico and Bodie Coombs. Unfortunately, racking up more negative yards. 3rd and 16.
Yeah, and eventually the Bobcats are going to have to air the ball out. These 3rd and longs just are really coming up to bite them.
Tarbett puts a man in motion, 3-step drop, drops some more, gets the ball thrown, and that's picked off, and he's going to run in for 6, tackled by his own player, touchdown, pick 6 for number 14 of Minico, Will Nelson, excuse me.
Will Nelson wanted to make sure that ball ended up in his hands. He very easily could have knocked that down, but rather than doing so, he grabbed it with both of his hands. He was able to make the play. Like you said, he was tackled by his own teammate. I wasn't even sure he was in the end zone initially, but it worked out, and we'll see if they're able to finally convert the PAT.
The kick is up, and the kick is good, and that's from number 44, excuse me. It's from number 44, Henry Friedrich, who Dallin was mentioning. He's the guy who usually takes those takes those kicks. So the PAT is good. Bringing us to 39-0. Minico just dominating on both sides of the ball with that pick six. And that was Will Nielsen.
And Will Nielsen, he almost had if I'm not mistaken, he almost had a big play in the end zone early on where his feet were just out of bounds for a touchdown. And I think that's something that on the defensive side of the ball, you don't always think you're going to get gifted a touchdown like that, but definitely wanted to make up for that foot being out of bounds and got his touchdown there in this big game.
So with 7:25 to play in the second quarter, Minico leads 39-0. Burley offense just completely stalled out in this first half. It's a short kick to the 10-yard line, and it's definitely recoverable. Nice blocking, but he's tackled, completely missed his hole. Nice effort there from Burley's return man, number 7, Cove Thompson.
I'm not going to speculate right here, but I really wonder if, Friedrich wasn't able to play the first quarter for some reason, because he's clearly the kicker.
Right.
Yeah, he's
nailed
clearly
that
the kicker. Like I said, I know he made at least, I think it was like a 37-yard field goal or something, week 0. Both of his kickoffs have just been good-looking kicks. So I wonder if there was something that why he didn't play the first quarter, because they did score a lot in the first quarter and lots of opportunities to go. But that's the first time we've seen him attempt a PAT on the night.
And
the
PAT
Spartans
was solid.
The Spartans can use him. Like you talked about, special teams really important, especially as you get into playoff season later on.
Tarbett puts a man in motion, takes a snap, hands it off, and he's tackled in the backfield. Nothing going there for Coombs. As they wait for the sign from the sideline. Minico wanted to be aggressive in their 3-3 style, their odd stack on the line. But I've been seeing a lot more 4-2 as they brought up that linebacker to the line. Throw across the middle, is that going to be completed? It will be, that's a completed pass. And that's going to bring up 3rd and short. So the pass was low, but it was caught. And 3rd and 5, 6:46 to play in the second quarter. Talbot hands it off. Coombs almost gets second level, and does he get the first down? He does, and he moves the chains.
Oh, that's got to feel good for the whole Burley side over here. It's been a long time since there was a first down.
I believe that's their second first down of the night, Dallin. Tarbell looking to his left. Claps, takes the snap himself, runs into his own blocker, and runs into Minico defense, and he's going to get tackled for a loss. It seems like every play is really is hard for this Burley offense.
Yeah, they are banged up, I will say, on their offensive line. That was something that Coach Anderson told us before, and I think with the stalwart defensive line that and the experienced defensive line that the Spartans have, we're seeing the difference.
Fumble on the ground. The mesh point was a little iffy, and that's going to be Minico football. Tarbett tried to hand it off, but that mesh point was just slippery enough. Ball comes loose, and Minico recovers with a more excellent field position. 33-yard line in Bobcat territory. Minico in the all red with the black numbers and maroon gold helmets. Burley in the all green jerseys with the white helmets. Quarterback throws to the outside. That's going to be pass. Will be knocked down. Nice defense from number 3 of Burley, Marcus Armstrong. Both a wide receiver and a CB. Nice coverage from Armstrong.
And that pass was intended to big brother, Griffin Baker, as well. First time we called his name tonight.
Hand off to Sonner Cranny, tries to get outside, and he's going to be brought down. Nice open field tackle. Good pursuit from Burley's number 13, Scott Crump. So 3rd and 10, 5:18 to play, ball on the 24-yard line. Trenkle takes a snap, rolls to his near side, left side, throws too far. Nice effort there from his wide receiver, but that's going to be out of bounds. Going to bring up 4th and 10, but flags thrown. We'll wait to see what the call is. That was a pass to his tight end. Love the tight end passes, Griffin Baker.
Obviously want to get him involved in the party as well. Preston Sonner Cranny taking too much of the wealth, I think.
And we got ineligible man downfield. That's going to be 5 yards, but we also have an illegal block, chop block, if block below the knees by Burley. And so we're going to go nowhere with that, but I'll bring up 3rd. Excuse me.
Yeah, offsetting penalties.
Offsetting penalties, right?
Yep.
So they'll redo the down.
Yep.
So 3rd and 9. 5 minutes to play in the half. Trenkle takes the snap. And it was supposed to be a screen play. They let the Bobcat defensive line in, throws the outside, but his receiver was not ready. So 4th and 9, 4:56 to play.
Yeah, and this is where you see if they're, I mean, as of right now, there doesn't really seem to be many weaknesses to the Minico offense, but the passing side of their offense is something that they will need to improve on throughout this season, because not every game is going to be 39-0 in the second quarter. And not every game you can just hand it off to Preston Sonner Cranny.
Trenkle scrambles to the outside. He's going to get brought down. He's going to hold the ball and allow himself to be tackled on 4th and 9. Nice defensive stop from the Burley Bobcats. That was 19, Jackson Carver, the safety for the tackle. Nice pursuit there from Carver.
Yeah, and the first time that, other than the first possession of the game, that Minico has not put points on the board in any of their possessions. That was, what, 6 straight possessions? 6 straight possessions that they were able to put points on the board.
Yep. So, yeah, their first possession, they weren't able to convert in their very first drive. And then after that, 6 straight, and that was their first missed drive. Nice stats. We don't have a stats guy, Dallin.
They called me stats in high school for a reason.
The Preston sensation, Dallin Fryer, doing work up here with myself, Joel Richardson. Burley will take the snap themselves. The quarterback, J.D. Tarbett, will take the snap himself. But not much blocking up front. With a number of offensive linemen injured, tough night for that offensive line and for J.D. Tarbett. 4:34 to play, 2nd and 8. As we got water balls flying in the student section. Over here in the Burley side, another directs quarterback keeper by Tarbett. He stays on his feet. And he gets a few more yards. There are positive yards. That'll bring up 3rd and manageable for the Bobcats offense.
Yeah, I'll be interested. We heard a fan say, now I wonder if they'll do another quarterback power. Because that's 2 in a row. That's actually the play that Mac Jensen got hurt on last week, close to the end zone.
So it's clearly in the playbook.
Yeah, it's a popular play for the. It's not just in these moments, but something to move the ball. Anything to move the ball right now, the Bobcats will take.
4 receivers at the top of your screen. Tarbett examines the defense, takes the snap. It's going to be a throw to the outside, near side. That's pass caught, completed. Nice play there, pitch and catch. Kendricks Kenobi. And that's going to be a first down. Nice positive play. Nice drive so far as the clock is ticking to end this first half.
And coming to this game, Kendrick Kenobi led the state in receiving yards. And it's the first time we've called his name tonight with a reception.
He's been frustrated a few times going to the sideline, almost maybe mad at himself as he's missed some passes. Quarterback does a little jump throw, and that's going to be incomplete. A little reckless there on that throw. And J.D. Tarbett, a junior quarterback, had to come in for the injured quarterback Mac Jensen, injured last week against Preston in that loss.
Yeah.
Second play of the drive.
And Jensen,
or second drive of the game, excuse me.
Jensen, he's great. He's an all-conference quarterback. He teamed up with All-American Gatlin Bear last year very well for this team.
That ball is tipped, almost picked. Had his man open. That was number 6 coming across the middle, Talon Guzman. But Tarbett's pass was just deflected by that defensive line. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, and I expect them to try to get Kenobi involved again.
Kenobi there at the bottom of your screen, number 11. Next to him is number 7, Cove Thompson. We've called all these players' names tonight. Just not enough stuff going for this passing game. 5 receivers, empty backfield. Tarbett looking for space, looking for someone. He throws downfield deep. He's got his man open, but out of bounds, too far for Kenobi. And that's going to be up 4th and 10. 3:18 to play, 39-0 Spartans lead. But you're on the positive side of that 50-yard line, so you got to go for this.
Yeah, and this is, I think, 3, maybe 4 straight possessions that they've kind of had to go for it. This is their best field position so far in these situations.
4th and 10, ball on the 49-yard line. Tarbett throws over the middle. He's got his man open. That's just blocked. Bounces out of the hands of Kenobi. Desperation breakup there from the Spartans secondary. That was going to be a touchdown and just nicked by Dominic Garza, getting a hand on the ball and letting the Spartans defense or Spartans offense take over on downs.
Garza, also a name very familiar to the Spartan faithful. JT Garza, great athlete in both basketball and football for the Spartans over the last couple of years.
A run to the outside is Preston Craney Sonner, and he'll get about 5 yards. Sonner Craney doing work, especially that far side. They like that right guard, right tackle on that line.
Yeah, those those offensive linemen are doing work pulling every single play as well. I mean, we obviously see Sonner Craney. The yards will show up on the stat sheet for him, but these guards and these tackles, center as well, we'll throw everybody in. They are doing work, getting to the second level almost every single play.
Trenkle in the shotgun, man in motion, fake handoff. It'll go to Sonner Craney again. And play is almost blown up, but Sonner Craney able to get a couple of yards and make something out of nothing. 2:33 to play in the second quarter. With Sonner Craney, 4 touchdowns, he's going to go owe his offensive line dinner tonight. Trenkle does a hard count, looks to the sideline, takes the snap in that shotgun, 3-step drop, throws dangerous, interesting pass there. Pass intended for a couple guys, but closest person in the vicinity was Griffin Baker. And if Burley had turned around, that would have been an interception. And they had blockers downfield.
4 defenders all right there. And honestly, I think the only one that actually touched the ball was Griffin Baker.
So 3rd and 7. Burley would love to get off the field here. Sonner Craney, nice run, gets second level, and just enough for the first down. So it's interesting, 3rd and 7, they don't wait very long to call their play and to go. Minico likes to move this ball, likes to be aggressive.
And it's working.
So Sonner Craney, another first down, gets second level, no problem on that 3rd and 7. Almost tackled in the backfield, nice effort. He slips and falls and is tackled on the way down. Sonner Craney pounds the ground.
I think he knew there. All he had was that one defender to beat. As he cut back, there was nobody.
Another quick play from Minico. Play action. Throw to the near side. Pass is caught as he's fallen. They're going to call that a completed catch. Nice job there from number 17 of Minico, Raxon Stimpson. As Minico calls a timeout, we'll take a timeout as well. You're watching Magic Valley Game Night. We'll be right back on IdahoSports.com.
An Idaho-based credit union is leading the way in community initiatives and charitable partnerships. Recognizing a need for change, Lookout Credit Union underwent a major transformation to put its employees and their community first. Through 2 strong initiatives, Lookout Credit Union is ensuring a brighter future for its community. To find out more, visit www.lookoutcu.com.
Idaho isn't your average state, and we are not your average people. We're not afraid to jump feet first, and we see the world a little differently. We know the importance of slowing down and the value of catching up. When we're not busy getting lost, we're looking out for one another. Our whitewater is aggressive, but our driving is not. We know all about taking chances, but we also know our limits. We drive safely because we care. It's who we are.
Welcome back to Magic Valley Game Night, IdahoSports.com. 3rd and 1, handoff to Preston Croner. And he gets to the outside, is able to avoid a couple of tacklers, stays on his feet, breaking on that far side, and he gets in for 6, touchdown from the 12-yard line.
You know, I joked during the commercial break that we could probably do the player of the game now and not wait till the end of the game. Man, Sonner-Cranny, what a game. What a game. Preston Sonner-Cranny. Again, we should give as much credit to the offensive line, but that type of play broke 3 or 4 tackles and still able to convert.
So PAT is no good. Hold was a little wobbly.
That's a pretty important piece as well. I held all growing up, all in high school and everything. It's an underrated part of the sport as well.
So Sonner-Cranny gets in for 6 at the 12-yard line. He goes that far side. He got some blocks to start, Dallin, but he was tackled by 3 or 4 guys and just kept moving, kept spinning, kept lunging for that touchdown for that line, and he got in for 6. Amazing running from Preston Sonner-Cranny.
Yeah, I don't know that we'll really see much more of Sonner-Cranny tonight, but he's definitely put his mark on this game, and the Burley players will always remember Preston Sonner-Cranny's name because they've heard it a lot tonight.
No thanks to my bad pronunciations. My goodness. I apologize, Preston Sonner-Cranny. But despite the bad pronunciations, sir, you have scored 5 touchdowns. Great game for him. 1:07 to play in the first half. Ball bounces to the 10-yard line. Picked up and ran for another 10 yards to the 20-yard line. So with 1:01 to play, Burley Bobcats will take over at the 20.
And would love to see him just open up the playbook here. And if you have a trick play, maybe now's a good time to try it. We haven't seen many deep balls from Tarbett tonight, but also he hasn't had a lot of time to throw either back there.
Yeah, almost every time he's pressured, even when he's rolled, he's been pressured. When he's rolled out, the defense has been able to set the edge and get to that backfield. Which, if you're a Minico fan, you're loving this performance because, yeah, you're up 45-0, but your defense has shown that they can get big stops and get to that backfield. Minico shows pressure, but they don't bring it. Just that 3-yard rush. A nice throw to the outside for a gain of about 3. We'll bring up second and manageable with 48 and counting to play in the first half. And if you're Coach Anderson, you want your quarterback, J.D. Tarbett, to go into halftime with some confidence, get some positive throws, and maybe in the second half, get a touchdown or 2 to get some momentum for your junior quarterback. Puts a man in motion. It's going to be a toss, and that's to number 11, Kendricks Kenobi. But a flag on the play, and they're going to call a false start on the Bobcats. So they'll march 5 yards back after that positive play, and they'll redo second down.
I think that they've just struggled with getting set tonight. It's happened. I think that's probably the fifth or sixth illegal procedure penalty we've seen tonight.
Which is normal for an inexperienced offensive line.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously they like to use motion a little bit as well. And if one of those guys doesn't have their legs locked in the ground, you'll see that penalty a lot.
So 2nd and 14. This will be the last play of the half if they get it off. And they will not get it off. The clock runs out. And that'll take us to halftime. Minico Spartans leading the Burley Bobcats 45-0 here in Minico, the home of the Spartans. And this rivalry game is all Minico in this first half. We'll take a quick break and be right back for the halftime show. You're watching Magic Valley Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
This year, help dreams come true with the Ideal Idaho 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits, ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, K-12 education, and student loan repayment. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org if you would like to learn more.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles. Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Welcome back to Magic Valley Game Night on IdahoSports.com. Minico Spartans leading the Burley Bobcats by a score of 45-0. It's the halftime show. I'm Joel Richardson, joined by Dallin Fryer here in this beautiful night, Rupert, Idaho, the home of the Minico Spartans. It's been all Minico so far in this rivalry game, the river rivalry, battle for the Golden Ore. These schools only 7 miles apart, but for Minico, at least for Burley, it's felt like Minico's been at their doorstep all night long, and Minico has been. Dallin, give us our scoring recap for the first half.
Yeah, after stalling on their first drive, Minico was able to get great field position on a bad snap on a punt, and Preston Sutter-Cranny was able to punch it in for a 2-yard touchdown after that with about 6:34 left in the first quarter. After that, Cranny had a 21-yard touchdown run about a minute and a half later. After that, Cole Huff was able to take in an 18-yard touchdown pass from Braxton Trinkle. I still got to get over Brevin Trinkle. He's in my head from all these last couple of years. His
he
brother.
Was awesome, right?
Man,
we call his name a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, he especially when he switched over defense, great player. After that, Sonner-Cranny was able to score right as the second quarter started, 4 seconds in on a 15-yard touchdown run. After that, Sonner-Cranny again 2-yard touchdown run about 3 minutes later. Will Nelson, after that 10-yard pick six, he had one that he just had out of the end zone on offense early in the first quarter and was able to get his touchdown. And after that, the Spartans were able to finally convert on a PAT, which was only their second conversion of the night. That was one big struggle that they had in the first half. And then to punctuate his amazing first half performance, Preston Sonner-Cranny was able to put in another touchdown with 1:07 left. This one of the 12-yard variety, putting it at 45-0 first half for the Spartans.
And I think two of the most impressive touchdowns of the night for Minico. One was that pick six by Will Nielsen. He kind of torqued his body, kind of to the right a little bit, got the ball, and as he catches, he stumbles but stays on his feet, ends up running into his own player who tackled him into the end zone. Oh, I don't think he carried him into the end zone, but there was definitely a tackle in the end zone by his own player.
Could you imagine if he hadn't gotten in the end zone, how mad he would be at that player that he didn't get his glory moment on defense? It's not very often, especially in high school football, to get a pick six. So that was pretty awesome for him.
And if you're on defense, exactly. So congrats to Will Nielsen for that linebacker pick six. And then the second impressive touchdown for me was Preston Sonner-Cranny's run, that final 12-yard run. That dude worked hard for that touchdown. He kept moving. He got blocks early on the play to that right side, the south side of the field. But after those blocks, he had three defenders on him, and he spun, he jumped, he turned, he twisted, and eventually, I thought he still needed some space, Dallin. But the refs finally called a touchdown. I think they still had him in their grasp, but he just carried. Seemed to be the Burley Bobcats defense into the end zone.
Yeah, and this Minico, anybody who's familiar with Minico football in the last, as long as I can remember at least, last 10, 15 years, is there is always a good running back. I remember, not to do Glory Days story here, but I'm going to. There was a goal that we had at Preston, and that was not to let the Minico running back score on the first play of the game, because they did it to us 4 years in a row on the first play of the game. And every single year, they seem to always reload in the backfield. The offense has changed since Sherm Blaser has taken over. They used to be what they call a butt sniffer, a wing tee, double wing. You do not see many receivers, many passes out there. But since Coach Blaser has taken over, they have spread it out more, but that doesn't mean that the culture has changed in that they still have tough-nosed running backs. They still have about as good of an offensive line as you can find. They might not always be the biggest, but they fire off the ball, they get to the second level, and, man, they pull. They pull, and it is such an effective thing for them.
Had a great opportunity to talk to the Minico Spartans head coach, Sherm Blaser, and he talked about this offense. Look, he's the OC, and he lost a lot of firepower on offense last year. No more Carson Wayman at QB. That's the big one, right? But he wants to play spread. But he also knows that in his second year here at Minico, you got to play with what you have. You got to play to your strengths, and he's very aware of that. So he wants to play spread, but they have a great offensive line, a solid running back. Well, maybe not solid, amazing running back, and Preston Connors and Preston Sonner-Cranny, but you still use that run game, use that kind of wing tee techniques, if you will, with the blocks and with the scheme. And his coach says a blocker for every tackler. But that also opens up the passing game, which, again, we've seen some decent passes. But if there are a few weaknesses to this Minico offense, it's one, the special teams with those PATs, a little iffy sometimes, and two, the throwing game.
Yeah, and Braxton Trinkle, this is his first year. Like you said, he replaced Carson Wayman. Carson Wayman changed what quarterbacks were at Minico. You did not see a quarterback that normally threw the ball over 10 times even, and he was throwing the ball sometimes 20 times, and he still could run as well.
Yeah.
And he had a little bit of a bigger build, but, man, he had a heck of an arm, and he was a lefty. That was always great, too, to watch for us lefties out there. We always loved that. But Trinkle, he's still kind of figuring it out. He has a little bit of inexperience, obviously, but he's got room to grow, and especially where they've had a lot of games that have been in their favor early on. We haven't really seen big adversity for Trinkle yet at quarterback where he's had to make important throws. mostly it's just been deep balls over and over. We've said that in the pregame. We said it during the game. And, man, it's happened several times throughout the game as well that he hasn't quite been able to connect downfield. But, man, I will say this. He looks really comfortable in the pocket. He doesn't panic. I noticed that in the game that I did earlier on this year against Skyview as well, that he doesn't look like a first-time starting quarterback at the varsity level. He looks very comfortable. He doesn't panic. He doesn't make dumb decisions necessarily. Like there was a couple times that on the other side, we saw Tarbett try to make something out of a play that wasn't working. Trinkle a couple times has just sat right down and taken the sack or taken a 2 or 3 yard loss.
Which is a
and
mature
that's important.
play.
And they're both juniors, but obviously Trinkle has had 5 games under. This is his 5th game starting at the quarterback position, and this is Tarbett's 1st game. And so it's good to see that kind of growth from Trinkle throughout this year.
And Coach really likes Braxton Trinkle. He talks about him as a talented athlete. He's lively, as a big arm. Well, his arm is lively and big. But what they want to do with Braxton Trinkle is match that arm with his footwork. And they were hoping in this game that he would take the next step forward as he's still developing, understanding coverages, but they like Braxton Trinkle. They're really excited for his future. And really nice that he's only a junior. You know, we talk about this throwing game isn't their strength, but every game he's getting a little bit better, and hopefully as you get deeper into this conference play and into the playoffs, that Braxton Trinkle will be ready, because not all games will be like you've said tonight, 45-0, 35-0, even 21-0. You're going to be closer, and you're going to need those throwing plays to get you out of 3rd and longs, 2nd and long situations. Let's go over the keys to the game for both teams and see how they've done so far with those keys. Minico, they wanted to win the turnover battle, create and avoid, explosive plays, create and avoid, and then be aggressive. Dallin, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10 for those keys?
I'm going to give we'll go 9.7 because there's always room to grow, obviously. But, man, it's pretty close.
And then for keys the game for the Burley Bobcats, focusing on every individual snap. They've struggled with fundamental discipline within each play. They want to get all 11 to be mentally engaged. So focusing on every individual snap, and then finishing in the red zone, and then slow down Preston Sonner Cranny, who's an absolute beast. How they've done with those keys to the game.
Well, we haven't seen them in the red zone yet tonight, so we can't really put much credit to that goal quite yet. That might be something we see here in the second half, and is something that they really could build on. That could be a really big building point if they're able to move the ball down the field. There have been several, like we said, procedure penalties. That's something that you don't have all 11 mentally engaged in the snap. We've seen them have to take 2 different timeouts just because of subbing players on and off the field. So obviously room to grow there as well. And Sonner Cranny, the words of Coach Anderson were, he is an absolute beast. And they knew that coming in, and it has been confirmed tonight for the Bobcats that Preston Sonner Cranny is an absolute beast.
Well, before we get into the third quarter, the second half, let's go over some scores from across 5A. Of course, Burley Bobcats and the Minico Spartans are both 5A teams, as a lot of the classifications climbed in classification. A lot of teams climbed in classification with the introduction of 6A. Both Minico and Burley went up to 5A. So across 5A, Kennewick, Washington leads Lewiston 13-7. Bishop Kelly blanking Columbia 44-0. Bishop Kelly, of course, beat Minico a few weeks ago. Blackfoot leading Bonneville 10-6. Highland leading Pocatello 14-12. Highland, of course, 6A, but Pocatello 5A.
That impresses me that Pokey is
Pokey's
staying with them.
Close.
Yeah.
Because Pokey's defense, I would say, is not as good as Pocatello's offense.
Yeah.
So Pokey only down 2 to Highland, and Highland's defense is just stifling, and they do just enough offense to win games. They're undefeated so far, Pokey with 1 loss. Hillcrest leading Shelley 21-0. Big conference game out there in the High Country Conference. Jerome losing to Canyon Ridge by 2, 14-12. Canyon Ridge, a fellow
Great Basin Conference.
Great Basin Conference. Well, I was going to call them Snake River Conference, but that's not right.
You're good.
Nampa leading Skyview 21-7. Ridgeview leading Caldwell 21-0. Coeur d'Alene leading Sandpoint 7-0. Twin Falls, there's another conference foes, leading Mountain Home 22-0, which unfortunately is not a surprise if you're Twin Falls and if you're Mountain Home. Twin Falls is going to be challenging for that top seed and that conference championship in the in this conference. And then Valley View just losing to Emmett by 7-6. And that is your 5A. Really quick, let's take a sneak at 4A. Some interesting games that we highlighted on Idaho Sports this week. Snake River leading Teton 14-0. And Marsh Valley leading Filer 20-0. Good job, Marsh Valley from East Idaho. And finally, 3A, there was a big game we're looking at. Declo Westside. Declo leading Westside 6-0 at half. And Malad leading Soda Springs 22-6. And then Firth leading Ryrie 14-6. And those are some of the scores from across Idaho, 5A and 4A. But here we go as we get set to start the second half of Minico Burley, the River Rivalry fighting for the Golden Oar. Burley takes the kickoff, finds some space and gets to about the 22-yard line, but a flag on the play. That might be coming back, Dallin.
We talked about it being engaged completely. That is not how you want to start your second half. I have to, for my East Idaho-ness as well, I have to also say I love that Declo and Westside are now in the same conference.
Isn't it so fun?
Oh, I think that is a rivalry that has been caught only in the state playoffs for so many years. It seems like they always play each other in the semifinals or the championship, and it's happened so many times. And having them in the same conference playing a regular season game, man, that for both sides, you want that because you get a taste of what you're going to be going against in the playoffs every year.
So the penalty was against Minico, so Burley will start at about the 26-yard line. Handoff straight up the middle, and he's going nowhere. Great tackle there from the defensive line of Minico. Going back to Declo Westside. Declo and Westside met last year in this 2023 state championship. Westside won that game. But now Declo, with all the classification, with everyone going up with the addition of the 6A classification, Declo and Wendell, both kind of Snake River, Great Basin Conference teams, as we get a run. Nice run from Coombs, gets second level, and will get the first down. Declo and Westside both, Declo and Wendell, both Snake River West Great Basin Conference teams, joined the Southeast Idaho Conference, including Westside, Malad, Soda Springs, and other fun teams for that just electric Southeast Idaho Conference in 3A. Nice tackle in the backfield. Quarterback going nowhere. That was number 54 for Minico, Cale Baker, one of the twin linebackers, excuse me. So that's going to bring up second and 10. Got back to the line of scrimmage, so nothing lost there except for a loss of down. 10:35 to play in the third quarter. Just starting the second quarter, 12 minutes on each quarter. 48 overall. And they're going to go for a minimal gain. That'll bring up third and long for Burley. And one more nod to that 3A Southeast Idaho Conference. Right now, the power rankings, or excuse me, the media poll, it's all 3A there, Dallin. So you got Declo, Westside. I believe Ryrie is also in there. Firth. And more teams from that east side, East Idaho side of 3A football. But here we're 5A. And Minico does just enough to force a fourth and about 5. Of course, Burley to go for it as they're down 45-0.
Yeah, and with this conference, at the start of the season, I think there was a lot of optimism that there was going to be more parity than there's been over the last few years. It's been a lot of Twin Falls and Minico. Burley has been knocking on the door, but a little bit down this year, especially with the loss of Mac Jensen.
Talbot back to throw, and that ball falls. Oh, we thought it went incomplete, but that's first down. Nice play there from number 11, Kendricks Kenobi.
Yeah, Kel Baker there could not believe that was ruled a catch, but Great catch by Kenobi right there, moving the chains.
And I believe we have a running clock now that it's 45-0 as the clock continues to move after that first down. 8:55 to play in the third quarter. Tarbert in the shotgun. Blockers to his right. Hands it off. And he tries to spin out of tacklers, but nothing going there. Tacklers getting second level once again. That was Mark Loveland on the carry. That was Cody Baker and Will Nelson on the tackle. Talking about those standings in the Great Basin Conference, Minico first with Twin Falls. They're both 2-0. Then Canyon Ridge at 1-1. Burley at 0-0. Of course, this is their first conference game tonight. Jerome 0-2. Mountain Home 0-2. So again, Minico and Twin Falls at the top as usual. 2nd and 12. Handoff. Bounces inside. Nice job there from number 4, Mark Loveland. A nice quick running to get out of the backfield, hit his blockers, and bounce inside.
Yeah, and finally able to just about, now they have, crossed the 50-yard line. Only the second time, I believe, tonight that the Bobcats have crossed the 50. Or I guess you could say cross the 50. The nose is on the 50.
So 3rd and 7, ball on the 50, maybe 49 3/4 yard line. Play action. The ball is completely gobbled up by Minico's number 9, River Casey. Came out super fast, or came into that backfield super fast, bringing up 4th and 7.
And if you're Tarbert back there, you just have to be so almost overwhelmed by the pressure that the Minico defense has been getting on it. The Bobcats love to run a lot of screens, and the Minico defensive linemen are blowing up every single one of them.
4th and 7, empty backfield, 4 receivers, throws across the middle, and that's caught. Broken tackle, spins out of a tackle, and we'll get the first down and then more into the red zone. Nice play there from Cameron Morley.
And finally something the Bobcat section over here right below us making some noise. This is a first time they've reached the red zone in the entire evening as well. This is one of the keys to the game, executing the red zone, so we'll get our first chance to see how they do so here.
With 7:10 and counting to play, we'll see if Burley can punch one in. Minico would love to get the shutout in this rivalry matchup. Tarbert calling the play, calling out the defense, pointing to the linebackers. Would love to get some protection. It's going to be a play action. He throws to the end zone, and that's going to be almost caught. Good try there from Kenobi. And he wanted the pass interference, but won't get it. That'll bring up 2nd and 10, 6:44 to play.
I think if the pass had been a little bit closer to him, he would have gotten that call. It's hard where it was underthrown by about 2 or 3 yards for him to get that pass interference call.
And Kenobi tried to get back to get it, but the ball just bounced before Kenobi could get his hands and arms underneath. So 2nd and 10. 2 receivers. Puts his man in motion. It's going to be a screen play to the outside, near side, and he slips as he's making his move. That was Bodie Coombs. And Coombs had green grass, Dallin.
Yeah, I think that's the second time we've seen Coombs slip tonight. It's just really been a tough going for him. He's one of their most explosive players. Had a great impact in their really close outing against Emmett a couple weeks ago, and just really hasn't been the night for him.
3rd and 12. As Coombs goes, so goes this offense. Handoff to Loveland. And Loveland maybe gets 1 yard, 4th and 11. So if I'm Burley here, I go for the points and go for the field goal, depending on the status of their kicker.
Which we haven't really seen anything of so far tonight other than the original kickoff.
But it looks like they're going for it unless J.D. Tarbert is their kicker. He's still out there. So they're going 4 wide. Going to lean on J.D. Tarbert's arm to get this score. Takes the snap. Three-step drop, throws across the middle, and that's caught for a touchdown. Number 4, Mark Loveland. He's been the best player tonight for this offense he's in for 6.
Yeah, only rightfully so that Loveland gets the touchdown there, I think. I think you're absolutely right. He's been if I saw the stat sheet right now, he might be the only player with more than 10 yards of anything. Kenobi might be up there as well, but really a strong reception right there, using his body to shield the defender and able to finally put some points on the board for the Bobcats. Also, great drive by Tarbet.
They go for the 2-point conversion. Tarbet takes the snap, throw over the top and almost, to the far side, near side. Far side, near sideline. That falls incomplete. Extra 2-point conversion is no good. But Burley gets a touchdown, bringing our score to 45-6.
Yeah, and they call that a nice confidence-building drive because Tarbet really just has had a tough night. They were able to convert, I think, 3, correct me if I'm wrong, 2 third downs and 1 fourth down there. And that's something that we did not see in the first half at all from the Bobcats. It was 3rd and long almost every single time, and they were finally able to convert, put the ball in the end zone, and it gives at least something good to watch on film. And when you go and check this game out tomorrow in film, instead of just sitting back and watching
your defense give up touchdowns,
or the offense even just getting stopped right up the middle over and over and over again, something to just go back and look at and be like, okay, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this.
And it was a nice throw over the middle by JD Tarbet. And good hands there from Mark Loveland. And it was into traffic, but he had just enough space as we have an onside kick, which is easily recovered by number 8, Cole Huff. Cole Huff had an earlier touchdown catch in the first quarter, 18-yard touchdown catch. But for Burley, that was an 18-yard touchdown throw from JD Tarbet to Mark Loveland for 6. So Minico will not get their shutout, but they still lead 45-6 by 39 points, 5:23 to play in the third quarter. Looks like we have an injury on the field. That looks to be number 6, Talon Guzman, who's had a couple nice plays, both on offense and defense.
I think he got lit up on the onside kick. He's in a lot of pain. I can't tell if it's a leg injury. I think it is. But he's not in a good place currently. Hopefully he ends up being able to shake it off and it's not anything long term for them, because like you said, we have called his name a couple times tonight.
A nice run up the middle, get second level and then some, keeping his legs moving, running over tacklers, and signals first down. Nice job there from, yet again, Preston Sonner Cranny.
Death taxes and Preston Sonner Cranny first downs. Actually surprised to see this unit still out there right now.
A fumble on the play, and he jumps on the ball immediately. Nice heads-up play from Braxton Trenkel. And he tried to hand it off, but his running back took off, and the ball dropped behind him.
One of those plays that you're glad you get back because it doesn't affect the turnover numbers.
This time the handoff was successful, and he gets second level once again. And Sonner Cranny doing work in this third quarter. So, yeah, we thought they would bring in maybe second, third stringers, but they're still giving the reps to their first stringers. As this season wears on, you want to make sure you have as many reps as possible. Sonner-Cranny goes right side, bounces to the outside, evades a couple tacklers, cuts inside, and almost gets inside the 10. Or he does, get inside the 10. When it gets to that far side, it's hard to tell the numbers. Gets inside of the 5-yard line. Great run there from Sonner-Cranny. Great vision on that run.
Yeah, just as good of a night. This is one he's going to write down and remember forever. It's one of those that years later from now, he's going to be looking back and being like, okay, that was a good night. I liked September 27th.
What a wing tee there as they take a direct snap to Sonner-Cranny. He's going to get in for 6. No problem. Touchdown, Sonner-Cranny.
Speaking of 6, that's his 6th touchdown of the night as
well. So we were right with that first touchdown.
What a night. What a night for Preston Sonner-Cranny.
Sonner-Cranny saunters in for 6. He got to the outside and probably could have walked in. 8-yard touchdown run with 3:59 to play. PAT pending. Snap is low, kick is up, and kick is good from the Minico special teams. Friedrich makes a good kick.
Now, I know that I said this halftime, but I would think that will be the last time that we see Preston Sonner-Cranny tonight.
I mean, in football, injuries are inevitable. You're one play away from losing your star player, one play away from losing the glue guy. And Preston Sonner-Cranny is that. He's both their star player and he's their glue guy. Got a chance to talk about him with his coach. And coach talks about, he's got that great gap tooth, right? He doesn't have like a couple of his front teeth. He's a 2-time state champ wrestler. He's a big personality, goofy dude, happy, fun, awesome leader, and he has more or less about 600 yards so far this season. Tonight, definitely over the century mark, 150 plus, heading towards that 800 mark on the season. Great kid, but might be time to pull him and get other guys reps and keep Sonner-Cranny healthy for the remainder of the season. Nice run there from Burley. Gets out to the 20-yard line. And that was number 8 from Burley, Cameron Morley. Plays wide receiver and safety for this Bobcats team. The last drive ended in a touchdown for J.D. Tarbett and his Burley offense. Like Dallin said earlier, that was a confidence boosting drive, and let's see how they respond on this one. 3:51 to play, 52-6 on the 20-yard line. They do a hard count, almost get Burley's defensive line to jump. Playing in that 3-3. Tarbett in the shotgun with a running back on his right hip. He hands it off. Handoff is a little bit shaky, but he does get positive yards, and that's number 2, Bodie Coombs.
Yeah, and like you said in the pregame, this 3-3-5 defense that the Spartans run, they actually haven't been running it a lot tonight. They've been using a lot of 4-man fronts, and that's probably due to the fact that Burley likes to run the ball up the middle a lot with either their running back or their quarterback. And now we see them move back to their traditional type of defense. This defense is actually what Idaho State runs, is a 3-3-5. You don't see it in college football a lot. A little bit more in high school football because of the lack of defensive linemen a lot of the time. But Minico's defense, obviously, it works three linemen or 3 down linemen, 4 down linemen. Regardless, they're a heck of a defense.
2nd and 10, 4 wide, puts a man in motion. That gives him 5 wide. It's a pass to the outside to Kendricks Kenobi. And Kendricks Kenobi has come alive in this third quarter. Great to see that.
It's also great to see them finally convert on that 5 and out to the sideline. I feel like Tarbett and Kenobi haven't quite met that connection 3 or 4 times throughout the night. That's a play that is going to be deep in their play, or right at the front of their playbook every single time.
3rd and 5 after that 5-yard out. 2:56 to play. 4 receivers wide, 2 at the top and bottom of your screen. 5 wide. Another throw, quick slant. Just a quick out and in, and that's going to be a first down for Burley. They move the chains. Nice drive so far.
I think four straight first downs for the Bobcat offense, which probably equaled about as many first downs as they had in the first half.
Five wide once again. Tarbert in the shotgun, takes the snap. Three-step drop, settles, fires across the middle, and that's caught. And incomplete, falls incomplete. He had 3 or 4 guys around him. I'm glad they didn't sandwich him because that could have been a dangerous play. Almost got it was Talon Guzman.
Yeah, good to see nothing bad happen over that. Those dangerous throws over the middle. The football in general at every level has tried to really take back some of those dangerous hits that happen all the time. They still happen, though, and we see a lot of targeting calls. Thankfully, none tonight so far. But safety, obviously, becoming a big part of the game.
And I like how the defenders, they waited for him to come down, then they were going to tackle him versus tackling him right when he had the ball. He pumps, finally throws the outside, got a man open. That's caught, completed, breaks the tackle, and he's off to the races. Finally tackled inside the 30. Nice job from Coombs. Coombs getting some positive yards after struggling tonight. Bodie Coombs, first down from J.D. Tarbert.
Yeah, first time we've seen him in the open field. You see him break a tackle there. That's what he does. But it's just been so hard for him to get to the second level tonight. Finally able to do so, receiving the ball.
Good play there from Tarbert. He rolls to the outside, and Coombs on the wheel route and gets it as he goes down that far seam. 1st and 10 on the 28-yard line. 1:45 to play in the third quarter. Dangerous play there. Player was covered the entire way, and that falls incomplete. 2nd and 10.
I think that was a business throw by Tarbert right there. No need to try to force it in there.
Going back to that 3-3 style that Dallin was talking about, and Dallin mentioned this, it's a lot easier to find 1 or 2 more, linebackers or hybrid DBs, LBs than it is to find 1 or 2 more defensive linemen. And that's why, like Dallin said, you tend to see a lot more 3-3 in high school, especially at in the smaller towns. Quarterback almost slips but gets his footing. And nice run there from Tarbert. Almost gets second level there. We'll bring up 3rd and manageable.
Well, I think that's why it's been so impressive that Minico's defense has been able to do what they do. Because at this level, you typically have a very dual threat type quarterback that can run up the middle, can get outside. Sometimes that 3-3-5 isn't going to be as effective, but it sure is. But Burley, great drive going on. 2 straight drives, really moving the ball.
1:07 to play. Tarbert takes the snap. It's a throw to the outside. And his players covered the whole way, but too many hands on him, and that's going to be pass interference on number 12, Caden G. And he doesn't like the call, but definitely a lot of hands on that receiver the entire way.
Yeah, I think Kenobi has really he's earned that call tonight because he's fought through some tough coverage. Not saying they were all pass interference by any means, but he's had defenders on his back all night making just the right timing. And so finally when one to play is just a little early, that flag is finally coming out of the pocket.
So that was a 3rd and 3, bringing us to 1st and goal at about the 10-yard line. Maybe a chance for a first down. Pass to the outside, he slips again. Coombs has just been wearing ice skates on that field tonight, Dallin.
Yeah, that was the same exact play that he slipped on last time as well. And he's coming off the field frustrated for sure. Someone get
that kid some Nikes, you know?
Something down there, man. And that's tough, too, because it was a 2nd and short. And, yes, it's still 3rd and short, but you have to figure he would have gotten at least the first down on that play.
So 23 seconds. The scoreboard's showing 3rd and 3, but the chain gang is showing 1st and goal as believe that was.
Yeah, you're right. That was
Mark Loveland taking it up the middle, if not quarterback keeper. Excuse me. That was quarterback keeper J.D. Tarbett, but kind of very confused. By the chain gang and the scoreboard. But that's going to end the third quarter. Minico Spartans leading 52-6, but Burley knocking on the door. We'll see if they can punch one in at the start of the fourth quarter. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. You're watching Magic Valley Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
An Idaho-based credit union is leading the way in community initiatives and charitable partnerships. Recognizing a need for change, Lookout Credit Union underwent a major transformation to put its employees and their community first. Through 2 strong initiatives, Lookout Credit Union is ensuring a brighter future for its community. To find out more, visit www.lookoutcu.com.
Idaho isn't your average state, and we are not your average people. We're not afraid to jump feet first, and we see the world a little differently. We know the importance of slowing down and the value of catching up. When we're not busy getting lost, we're looking out for one another. Our whitewater is aggressive, but our driving is not. We know all about taking chances, but we also know our limits. We drive safely because we care. It's who we are.
Welcome back to Magic Valley Game Night, IdahoSports.com. Burley offense trying to punch one in, 3rd and 3. They hand it off, try to get outside, trying to break through tackles, fight through tackles, staying on his feet, but can't go anywhere. And that's going to bring up 4th and goal. Or 4th and 3. I'm honestly not sure. We got Chain Gang showing goal, and we got the board showing 4th and 3.
I think the line to gain might actually be about like a half a yard short of the goal line.
Okay, so here we go. So they finally caught up. So 4th and 9. Chain Gang was right. Scoreboard was wrong, but it's okay. We got 4th and 9, so that first down is right about at the half-yard marker. So they're going to go for points here and kick the field goal.
I actually like this call, too, because it gives you a chance to see what you can do from a kicking standpoint.
So 25-yarder for Isaac Magana. The snap is good, and the kick is a booming one. Nice kick there from Isaac Magana, and that's good for 3.
Well, that was great. That looked like a real kick. That's about as good of a high school kick as you can see. And clearly that's a weapon that the Bobcats can use throughout the rest of the season as well.
So with 10:52 to play in the fourth quarter, Burley's not able to score a touchdown, but Isaac Magana nails the 25-yard field goal. That could have been 35+ the way he kicked it. And that's good for 3. But Minico still completely dominating this ball game, 52-9. After this game, stay with us for a post-game recap of this rivalry game, the River rivalry, battling for the Golden Oar. Love it when rivalries have unique trophies to the area, and of course, Snake River slithering its way through this basin, and these schools just 7 miles apart. A lot of these players, families, all friends, all know each other, work together out in the farms, in the community. But when you get on the field, you want to beat your opponent. You want to get your friend, right? Those are the sweetest victories. As we have an onside kick, it's recovered right at the 50-yard line. No problem for Minico, and they'll take over with good field position. For the Minico Spartans, next week they'll be home versus Canyon Ridge, another conference game for Burley Bobcats. They're at home versus Canyon Ridge. That'll be their second conference game of the season. It'll be interesting, that one, because Canyon Ridge obviously not as strong as Minico. And in order for Burley to stay relevant in this conference, they'll need to get a few victories, and Canyon Ridge might be an accessible one there. Preston, That was Preston Sonner-Cranny on the run. Gets a couple yards. And for Minico next week, they'll be at Idaho Falls. So a fellow 5A opponent. Idaho Falls, they've had a better year this year, but still struggling. And that'll be a good game for Minico to put in the win column. Sonner-Cranny, another carry. He'll get second level, and he will get just shy of the first down. 10 minutes and counting to play in this ball game. 52-9, Minico leads Burley. Another run right up the middle. Flags on the play, and a flag after the play. We got laundry all over the place. And we will wait to hear the call.
Yeah, and obviously the Minico coaching staff really wants to have the starting offense play the whole game, maybe for conditioning purposes, maybe because they did not play the whole game last week against Jerome. It was a blowout as well. So maybe trying to get them as many reps as you can. I do notice that the Burley defense has put in a few subs, not everybody, but there are some of the starters no longer on the field. But Minico's sticking with their starters.
So after the two penalties, Sonner-Cranny and this offense go to the 24-yard line. 1st and 10. Sonner-Cranny gets to the outside. Stiff arms and finally brought down just shy of the 10-yard line. At about the 12. Nice run from Sonner-Cranny. And that's going to be enough for the Spartans' first down.
You can just tell Sonner-Cranny is a wrestler, too. The way that he takes contact and the way when he gets wrapped up, the way that he falls even. Just little things like that. Clearly, you can see why he's been such a great part of the Minico wrestling team as well, which has been a great team over the years.
Sonner-Cranny, a two-time state champion wrestler at the 4A ranks. This year he'll be wrestling as a 5A at the 5A ranks. False start on Minico, bringing back 5 yards. Bring up first and goal on the 15-yard line. Great block there up front. Sonner-Cranny absorbing the contact as he runs to the near side and gets back to the original line of scrimmage at the 10-yard line. 2nd and goal. Spartans' strength of schedule is good this year, decent to good, I would say, as they've played Skyview, Mountain Home, and Jerome. And you try to schedule tough teams based on, past results. And Minico has done a good job so far, winning most of their games, except for the loss to Bishop Kelly. Sonner-Cranny is in for 6, but there's a flag down, and it's another false start on. It's another false start on Minico. We got some extracurricular stuff going on here on the Burley.
I'm like, I don't know what just happened. I don't think anyone knows what just happened.
We got toilet paper rolls and water being thrown. Sonner-Cranny will saunter in for 6, sees some more gaps and hits those gaps. Sonner-Cranny touchdown from the 10-yard line. Excuse me, from the 15-yard line.
And I completely missed that on camera. I apologize for that. I was distracted by what was happening here in the Burley student section. But Sonner-Cranny, 7th touchdown of the night. And he just hasn't quit.
With 6:32 to play, Sonner-Cranny gets in for 6 more. The PAT was no good.
Yeah, no good.
And that brings us to 58-9. And Sonner-Cranny, they said, just tied the touchdown, the record. Tied or earned?
Tied, I think.
Tied for the most touchdowns scored by a Minico player.
I'm guessing, yeah. And that could have been something that after he got the 6th one, Sonner Cranny might have gone to the coaching staff and said,
give me one more. I want to tie it.
Let me get there.
I want to tie it or win it.
And I'm not sure he'll have enough time with the running clock here in these last 6.5 minutes to break that record necessarily, but there's been a spectator that has needed to move their car for about 3 quarters now. It's an announcement that we have to keep listening to.
And they threatened to tow, but they continue to announce, so I'm guessing they haven't towed it yet. 58-9. Booming kick, end over end, to about the 10-yard line, and it's going to be returnable. Gets to the outside. That's the Jedi himself, Kenobi. And Kenobi gets all the way past the 40 and gives his Burley Bobcats offense good field position to likely end this game.
And first time we've seen Kenobi returning kicks. He's been back there, but it's been a lot of Cove Thompson typically returning.
So 5:49 and counting. Burley Bobcats will start right at the 40-yard line. Tarbett, ball on the ground, picks it up. He tried to throw, ball comes loose again, but quick thinking from the offensive line, and Burley will recover. Nice work there from number 74, Zach Hobbs.
Had Minico recovered that, I really wonder if Preston Sonner-Cranny would have
put
been
him in
out
and
there
you give him
again.
the record, no
Yep,
doubt, no
yep.
doubt. So 5-yard loss on the fumble. And except for besides those last 2 drives, every play, every drive has been tough for Tarbett in this offense. Another tip ball picked up, and he's going to go in for 6, 10, 5, touchdown. 35-yard pick 6, the second one of the ball game. That was Slade Page. 35-yard pick 6.
Exclamation point on the game right there.
We're waiting for the call from the sideline for the 2-point conversion or the extra point. So 4:30, clock is running. It's a running clock. Now that it's 64-9, the PAT is up. And the PAT is no good, just pulls left. And it's going to keep a touchdown without the extra point. 64-9 after that 35-yard pick 6. Crazy play there, Dallin. It was a tip ball. Then Slade Page picks it up. Well, it doesn't pick it up. Catches it off the tip and runs it for a touchdown. 35-yard pick 6.
I think that's I don't even know how many passes that have been tipped by the defensive line for the Spartans. And, I mean, I don't need to just keep putting numbers over and over again, but, man, the numbers game tonight, the Spartans, 2 pick 6s, that's about as good of a night for the Minico defense, not to mention only 9 points on the board, but regardless of that, 2 pick 6s, you can remember that. That's bulletin board material.
They announced Slade Page as this ball bounces to about the 15 picked up. And Kenobi gets something out of nothing past the 25-yard line. They mentioned the name Slade Page on the loudspeaker, but there's no Slade Page on our roster.
Well, and I looked at who I thought it was, and I think it was a number 46, who we don't have a 46 on the roster.
So
I can see one right down there. I believe that was him. And, yeah, maybe he could be even a freshman. Who knows?
Right.
But regardless, that's a great play for him.
So number 46, Slade Page, with the pick 6 from the 35-yard line off the tipped pass. And that tipped pass was at the line. So a kind of different type of tip drill for that defensive line. 3:29 and counting to play. Let's see if Burley can punch one more in after they had some 2 good drives. Minico stuffed that last one with the interception and touchdown. Running to his right side and gets free. Nice job there from Coombs. And that'll move the chains. First down, Burley and Coombs. 3 minutes to play. If you're Burley, you're looking for positive plays to take you into the practices next week and your game on Friday. As another positive run play again. Minico playing Idaho Falls next week, but Burley staying with their conference, playing another conference opponent, staying here in the Great Basin Conference, playing Canyon Ridge at home. Nice run here, gets second level, breaking tackles. Nice job there from Kenobi and gets inside the 30-yard line. First down and then a bunch from Kendricks Kenobi. And he'll take a breather after that run. Oh, that was Mark Loveland, excuse me, not Kenobi. A nice tackle there at the line. So great run there from Mark Loveland, excuse me. And that's followed by a quick run play by Coombs, who gets a couple yards on that first down. 2nd and 6.
One bright spot on offense for the night is just Mark Loveland.
Yeah.
I think he really actually gave something to the Bobcats tonight on offense.
Tarbett takes the snap. It's going to be a throw to the outside. That's pass caught. Touchdown! Kendricks Kenobi.
Kendricks Kenobi is one of the best receivers in the state. Haven't been able to see a lot of him tonight, and I mean, he's been so frustrated time and time and time again. But able to show off his athleticism there. Not only securing the catch, but able to stay in bounds as well.
Here goes Burley for 2. Tarbett takes the ball himself, and he's in for a 2-point conversion. Nice job there from Tarbett and the Burley Bobcats to score before time expires, bringing the score to 64-15. Excuse me, 17. So 2-point is good from J.D. Tarbett as he runs it in and through that B gap. Nice hole there from the offensive line of Burley. And Tarbett threw a great throw down the sideline. Kind of a toss-up to Kenobi, and Kenobi brings it in for 6.
Yeah, they were able to establish a much better connection the second half. And that will be, I'm sure, a big focal point of the offense here in this in their game next week against Canyon Ridge. Like you said, that's a winnable game. Canyon Ridge has been better than they have been the last couple of years, but still definitely a winnable game for Burley.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. I really want to see how Burley responds in that game next week. But for now, it's all Minico as they are the victors, and they will keep possession of the Golden Oar as they win this rivalry game 64-17. We'll be right back for the post-game show and to wrap up our broadcast. You're watching Magic Valley Game Night on IdahoSports.com. Stay with us.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
This year, help dreams come true with the Ideal Idaho 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits, ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, K-12 education, and student loan repayment. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org if you would like to learn more.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles. Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Welcome back to Magic Valley Game Night on IdahoSports.com here at Minico High School. We have a final score. Minico Spartans defeat the Burley Bobcats by a score of 64-17. All Minico tonight. Do a quick recap of all the scores. Preston Sonner-Cranny, 2-yard touchdown run to start the game. Followed it up by another one all in the first quarter. And then Huff with an 18-yard touchdown catch. That was Cole Huff on the 18-yard touchdown catch. Brady Trunkle on the throw, and that was all the scores in the first quarter. Second quarter, again, was all Minico. Preston Cranny Sonner, 15-yard and a 2-yard touchdown runs, respectively. And then Will Nielsen with a 10-yard pick six brings the score to 39-0. Then finally, to end the second quarter, Preston Sonner-Cranny knocks off a 12-yard touchdown run with 1:07 to play. The PAT is no good, brings our score to 45-0. That was all in the first half. Second half, for Burley, Mark Loveland gets an 18-yard touchdown catch to put Burley on the board with 5:25 to play in the third. 2-point conversion was no good. Then Preston Sonner-Cranny again rattles off an 8-yard touchdown run. PAT good, and Isaac Magana hits a 25-yard field goal for Burley with 10:52 to play, and we thought that might be all the scores in the fourth quarter, but no. Preston Sonner-Cranny was not done. Another touchdown from Sonner-Cranny with 6:32 to play in the fourth. Pick six from Slade Page, maybe a JV freshman player with 4:57 to play. That was a 35-yard pick six off a tip drill. And then finally a 21-yard touchdown catch from Kendricks Kenobi of Burley brings our final score to 64-17. We talked about our keys to the game. Minico nailed all of them. Burley, some room to grow.
Yeah, it's one of those games that for Burley, they're going to be happy it's only 7 miles away because it's not one you have to sit on a bus that's really gloomy for a little while. It's one that you can just kind of, I'm not going to say recover from, because this is obviously a loss that they did not want to have, and definitely not of this variety. But it was, this was a game that was going to be tough in the first place. Minico, great team. Brand new quarterback in J.D. Tarbett. Really got better as the game went on.
He did.
And going forward, I think they're in an okay place, better than they were at the beginning of this game. He was able to play the whole game. He was able to show his arm a little bit. He would show his legs. And for Minico, man, they showed why they're going to be a favorite in this conference, obviously. They have not had very much success in the playoffs traditionally. They've been a really good regular season team. But with this defense, anything can happen for them.
And defense travels and defense wins in the playoffs when you get to state. Congrats to Minico for the win, but it's time to award our IdahoSports.com Player of the Game. Tonight's Player of the Game is brought to you by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to always keep your head in the game. Whether you're on the field or the road, be in the moment and free from distractions. Tonight's Player of the Game, of course, has got to be Preston Sonner-Cranny.
Yeah, 7 touchdowns. We don't have an official stat for his rushing yards, but it was at least over 150. Could have been almost close to 200 with him staying in that fourth quarter, getting the load of the carries in the second half. And he's about as impressive of a running back as you're going to see, and showed his true colors tonight.
And all those touchdowns were rushing touchdowns. And they weren't super long runs. I think all of them were within 30 yards, 20, a little over 20, but a lot of those rush touchdowns were just hard-nosed runs, powerful runs. The guy loves contact and just had an amazing night. And they mentioned over the loudspeaker there was some record that he either tied or beat. We'll have to get more information about that later. But Preston Sonner-Cranny is our IdahoSports.com Player of the Game, brought to you by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Next week.
Sorry, I have to interrupt.
Go ahead.
With an asterisk next to the offensive line as well, because he could not have done it without them tonight. They gave him holes, like you said earlier on, that me and you could have walked together through. And not all of the touchdowns were like that, but there was at least 3 or 4 of them that he went in untouched.
No doubt. So he owes them breakfast, lunch, and dinner tomorrow. So good job to that offensive line, to Preston Sonner-Cranny and the entire Minico team as they defeat the Burley Bobcats 64-17. They keep the Golden Oar and they win the River rivalry. Next week, the Minico Spartans will go on the road and face the Idaho Falls Tigers out there in the High Country Conference in Idaho Falls. And the Burley Bobcats will be at home versus Canyon Ridge. Next week, Down, where are you going to be?
Ooh, next week, I don't even know right now. I think I might actually have it off next week.
All right. I will be, I can't remember either, but it's going to be somewhere. It's going to be great. But that's going to do it for us here on this broadcast. This has been an IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of Magic Valley Game Night, presented by Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Additional coverage on IdahoSports.com has been brought to you by Lookout Credit Union. This broadcast was also made possible by the great support from these local businesses: AMI Supply, Bobcat Corner, Impact Athletics, Minidoka Memorial Hospital, Burley Physical Therapy, Brewster Cheese, and Industrial Ventilation. Special thanks to Athletic Director Brady Trenkle and everyone here at Minico High School for their hospitality and help in getting this game broadcast to you. Congratulations again to our IdahoSports.com Player of the Game, Preston Sonner-Cranny, 7 rushing touchdowns, and also to his offensive line. Presented by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Thanks again for joining us as the Minico Spartans defeat the Burley Bobcats by a score of 64-17. For my broadcast partner,
Dallin Fryer,
and everyone else behind the scenes here at IdahoSports.com, I'm